That was arena soccer perfection.
With an absolute golazo. Goal! As good a goal as you can see. That was a heat-seeking missile.
Goalkeepers are going to be a big part of this one. William Van Zella in the nets for Baltimore right there, and Josh Lemos in the nets for Milwaukee.
As they call him here, Josh the Wall Lemos. So if nothing else, you'd figure President Trump would be interested in checking that out. It will be an intense battle today here from Milwaukee. Stay with us, fans. It's the Wave and the Baltimore Blast. Coming up next, right here, this is Wave Soccer and MASL.TV. So we are ready for the opening kickoff here from Milwaukee. The Wave and the Baltimore Blast. Tom went along with Art Kramer as we greet you from the black turf of the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. Today, Art, will be the 91st regular season meeting between these teams, one of the oldest rivalries in all of North American arena soccer. Wave is 52-38, more impressively 33-11 in Milwaukee against the Blast. Blast has been a much better percentage-wise in the postseason here in Milwaukee, but for the regular season, the Wave has done pretty well here, winning 75% of the time against Baltimore.
Well, you can throw all those numbers out the window, Tom, because the Baltimore Blast come in as the three in the last 3 years, the defending champions in the Major Arena Soccer League.
Wave
so this is the team to beat.
Absolutely. Looking for the four-peats. There's goalkeeper Josh Lemos for the Wave. Milwaukee in the black uniforms going left to right as we look at the action here in the first period. Lemos coming off a solid performance against the Mississauga Metro Stars in his last outing a week ago. He was returning after a 5-game absence due to injury and looked pretty sharp. And of course, his opponent today for the Blast, William Vanzella, has been one of the top goalkeepers in this league. This is now his 7th season. And right away, the Blast is going to get called for a delay of game, if you will, clearing the ball into the stands from their, or the Wave bench from their defensive area without it hitting turf, glass, or boards.
And you see their captain, number 11, Tony Donatelli, not agreeing with that call from Mark Kedlisek.
So
got
good.
Mark Kedlisek and Kyle Trimble to referee in today's game.
Two of the fine veteran officials in this league under the supervisor officials Ryan Sigich. Good scoring opportunity for the Wave right off the bat as Max Ferdinand, one of the league's leading playmakers, will lay it off to Drew Ruggles and a shot save. Vanzella, good anticipation that time by Vanzella. He was right there to make the stop.
Well-executed restart by the Wave. We talked about the goalkeepers being a big key in this game, and right off the bat, Vanzella with a great save to the near post.
You saw Jamie Thomas, the veteran from St. John's of New York, trying to maneuver there. The Wave took it away. Now Chino, Angel Curiel comes back with a shot to goal! So he reloaded after the first attempt and knocked it past Vanzella, and just like that, the Wave takes a 1-0 lead.
Nice finish that time by Chino after a fortunate bounce. He took a shot. I think it hit Isaac Pereira in front. Bounced right back to Chino, and he beat Vanzella to the far post. See that right there? I believe that was Pereira. That might have been an intentional pass back to Chino, but what a play there, and a great little finish. Vanzella had no chance. Clinical finish that time by Chino.
Angel Curiel, Chino gets his 6th goal, also has 6 assists for 12 points. And Isaac Pereira, whether intentionally or not, is going to pick up the assist on that. Isaac, with his 4th helper on the year, he's got 9 goals to go along with that for 13 points. And the Wave off to a good start with the goal at 121 by Chino.
Baltimore coming off a loss last weekend to Harrisburg, Tom. They're only 2-3 thus far on the road in this season. But I've talked to Danny Kelly over the years when they come into this building, and his philosophy and his keys are always the same. Keep good possession of the ball, get 5 behind the ball, and be good on special teams. It's a pretty simple formula.
Last foul was against Baltimore's Ibrahim Keita. Now, Andre Hain gets a touch back from Vandergrift, took a shot that was blocked. A little too slow developing there for the Wave on the exchange. Milwaukee will back it up as Stuart Grable, the only active native Wisconsinite on this team, plays it back to Lemos. Grable out of Neenah, Wisconsin, played his college ball at UW Green Bay. Wave did have another Wisconsinite on the ball club, but he got hurt in the opening game of the season. That's veteran defender Tenzin Rampa. Tenzin, a Madison native, played his college soccer at UW Milwaukee, and then he's been with the Wave ever since, now in his 11th season. But unfortunately, he got hurt in the first half of the opening game of the season and out for the year with a knee injury. Wave moving it left to right. Here's LSO. Luan Salas Oliveira has a shot that's saved. Rebound followed top of the area as Robert Renaud teed one up, but a nice block. And Milwaukee will have to reload.
Good job by Baltimore in front of William Vanzella. That's the 3rd block thus far here in the first 3 minutes for the Blast.
Blast has always been a very strong defensive team, of course, anchored by some all-star type goalkeeping as that ball deflects out of bounds, but they're going to call a foul against the Wave. I think Robert Renaud going to get called for the foul, and the Blast will get the possession. But again, so solid in their format, Art. They never seem to lose their shape. Very disciplined defensively, and I guess part of the reason why their goalkeepers have been so successful is they've had outstanding defenses in front of them.
Yeah, they've always had core group of guys in front of William Van Zella.
And not just the defenders, the whole team tracks back on defense. They normally get 5 guys behind the ball. One guy, though, they've had to replace this year is their longtime stalwart defender and former team captain, Pat Healy. Pat retired as a player. He is now coaching the Harrisburg Heat. So they've had to have some guys step up to try to replace him. Pat was one of the best in Blast history. Blast working it from right to left. Nearly 4 minutes gone by first period. 1-0 Milwaukee on the goal by Chino, his 6th of the year from Isaac Pereira, who picked up his 4th assist. Leading scores for the respective teams. Vinny Dantes with 13 points to top Baltimore. Tony Donatelli right behind him with 12 as Thomas try maneuver in the area. Initially denied by Chamali. Blast will reload. And for Milwaukee, it's Ian Bennett and Robert Renaud, each with 20 points. Max Ferdinand third with 17. Lemos could not come up with that one. Alex Bradley trying to clear from Milwaukee. And again, the Blast sends one in. The shot, save made by Lemos.
Donatelli crossing over from right to left, and Lemos with his first save of the game.
That pass intercepted by Elton de Oliveira. Donatelli comes back with a shot. Another save by Lemos. So Lemos getting tested a couple of times by Donatelli here in the early going. Back for Vanzella with Pereira chasing. The Blast able to move it back to midfield. Donatelli in his 13th year out of Temple University. And he has been a good one during his years in the league, especially with the Blast. Baltimore at 7-3 overall, 5-0 at home, but as Art mentioned, just 2-3 on the road. Since moving to the miniature field at CQ Arena in Towson, Maryland last year, the Blast is undefeated, 17-0, including postseason. That ball put into the stands, and this will be a top-of-the-arc restart for the Blast.
We saw the Wave with a top-of-the-arc restart. Baltimore now with their opportunity, and throughout the years, this has been one of the staples of the Baltimore team is their effectiveness on the offensive restarts.
Both teams missing a few of their key players today. We'll give you that list in just a minute. And the shot off the frame. So the Blast almost getting the equalizer there. Dos Santos will play it back. Now they work it to the near side. That's Nascimento, Marco Nascimento, number 19 for the Blast.
The first 3 minutes, it was all Milwaukee in possession, and now the last 2 or 3 minutes has been Baltimore with the majority of the possession.
Well, both the Wave and the Blast pride themselves on beating pretty good possession teams. That what makes it equally tough if you fall behind, but more than a couple goals against either of these teams because they do not tend to give up the possession very easily.
You know, you're absolutely right, Tom. And if you're the Wave, that's where I think that with the offensive firepower that they have, you want to come out and try to get into more of a fast-paced game against the Blast. You know, I try to outscore the Blast as opposed to playing a possession-oriented defensive-type game because that's the game they win.
Yeah, pretty tough to beat the Blast at their own game most of the time. That was T. Shiplani, number 7 for the Blast. Now, Big Mo turning with a shot that's off the mark. Rebound to the corner, and another big guy, Andre Hain, knocking shoulders low there. That would be a good matchup if they were marking each other, not currently at the time.
That was a good shoulder-to-shoulder challenge in the corner between Mo Ndi and Andre Hain.
Hain goes about 6'2", maybe 6'3", and D.I. 6'3", maybe 6'4". And both guys are put together pretty well. Hain steps up to make the block on the shot by De Oliveira. So you've got number 26, Elton De Oliveira, and number 30, Daniel Oliveira, both in the Blast lineup.
And for the Wave, you have Luan Oliveira.
LSO, Luan Salas Oliveira. Donatelli sends a free kick in and almost made the connection in front. Dos Santos with a follow-up shot. Blast won a handball, not going to get the call. And they cycle it back to Vanzela. Vanzela came over to the Blast after an outstanding futsal career in Italy and made the transition to arena soccer very seamlessly.
That's another thing about the Blast. They've always had good goalkeeping throughout the years as well. You look back in the early days, guys like Keith Von Aaron, and now you went through Sagu, and now you have William Vanzella, and you can throw Sonaldo into that mix as well.
Yeah, how about Sonaldo coming back off the retirement list to play for Tacoma State? And he helped anchor the 6-5 victory by the Stars at El Paso last night. What a good battle there by Thomas, I think it was, to get through and get the shot, but it was a bit high.
The Blast imposing their will on the Wave right now. The last 3 or 4 minutes have been all down here in the Wave's defensive zone.
Blast without a couple of their key veterans today. Most notably,
Vinny Dantas, Andrew Hoxie, a couple guys you normally see out there.
Yeah, and also Juan Pereira, Daniel Peruzzi, so they are definitely playing shorthanded, relatively speaking.
You know, and I misspoke before, Tom. I said, you know, they're core guys. Well, that's what's been so impressive about this Baltimore team is Danny Kelly and David Bascombe, who's not on this trip, have been able to take players years after years. A lot of changes going on with the Baltimore Blast, but it seems like they come out every year and it's the same product that's put on the field, and that is excellent indoor soccer.
Vandergrift sends one through to the middle. And Ian Bennett in front, just a bit high for Ian to try to head it back in. Now, LSO able to keep it alive for Milwaukee, but cleared downfield.
But you throw names like Keith Tozer, Ron Newman, Kenny Cooper, some of the great indoor coaches of all time. Danny Kelly has got to start being considered to be in that mix as well.
Oh, absolutely. Danny, I believe this is his 13th full season as coach of the Blast. He's won 6 championships during that time. Ferdinand along the end board, being muscled out by the defender. Wave will swing it around now. LSO will play it to Grable and get it back.
One thing about Danny Kelly, he sweats the details. His practice training is meticulous. The attention to detail is outstanding, and that's one of the reasons why the Blast has been so successful year after year.
Ferdinand tried to slip one through, pass deflected by Jeremy Rayleigh. Rayleigh in his 3rd year, former Maryland Terrapin. Maryland native, playing for the Blast. I got to imagine he probably attended a few Blast games during his formative years. Lemos plays it up for Ricardinho. 6th year indoor veteran out of Brazil, his 3rd with the Wave. He'll knock it back to Grable. Milwaukee cycling the possession after Baltimore had it nearly for about 2 minutes. I'm sure the Wave just wants to hang on to it here for a while.
Well, it's a possession by possession game, and you saw it. The first 3 minutes it was all Wave, and then the last 4 or 5 minutes, as you said, Tom, the Blast, and now here goes the Wave again.
Only goal came at 1:21 of the first period. Angel Curiel Chino scored his 6th of the year from Isaac Pereira. And foul going to be called there against Ricardinho as he tripped out Ibrahima Keita. One more look at it there on our Wisconsin Vision instant replay. Fans outside of being on the team, the best way to know what's happening in the MASL is to tune in to Kick This. Every weekend, Soccer Sam discusses the ins and outs of all the MASL action. Find Kick This every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on iHeartRadio. Vanzela able to beat Pereira to it in the corner. And the Blast will start it back. Pass behind in the middle, though. And Milwaukee able to regain the possession. That was a good run of field that time by De Oliveira. But Baltimore unable to capitalize. Lemos getting some pressure. Will play it up for Hain. Andre in his 4th indoor season out of Lindenwood University in your neck of the woods, St. Charles, Missouri. Right down the block from St. Louis, where Art Kramer grew and developed into the icon that we know him as today.
Lindenwood has always had a storied tradition in soccer, normally fueled by a lot of Bosnian players that have gone to Lindenwood throughout the years.
I think I've had several guys end up playing in our league. And the Lions of Lindenwood, always a formidable team to play against in college soccer. Hain doing a good job to keep it alive. Ball sent back in, and Venzela has to reach back as that ball was spinning back toward the goal on that ball sent in by Santos. Now pressure on the keeper, but he's able to get it up. Nascimento will work it across the field.
It's been impressive, Tom, about the last 3 Blast championships. You said they're looking for a 4-peat this year, but all 3 championships won in the country of Mexico. I mean, how hard is that? Twice against Solis, once against Monterrey.
Couple of shots wide. Oh, and a follow-up shot on a score. Great conversion there as
I believe it was Sam
the
Guernsey.
golden man, Sam Guernsey.
Yeah.
So the Blast have tied it up at 1. We'll take a break, come back with more. This is Wave Soccer on MASL.TV.
What did I get from my father? His spirit. I got his warmth, his understanding. What did I learn? His passion for helping others was for me everything I was meant to be.
While every agent's story is different, the promise is still the same. You're in good hands with Allstate.
A look at the skating rink in downtown Milwaukee.
Right off of Water Street, by the way.
Right across the street from the Performing Arts Center. Not too far from your old stomping grounds downtown there.
What's that, Fitzgibbon's Pub? McGillicuddy's? Water Street Brewery? Which one? Trinity? You want me to name them all? Okay, keep going.
That's the voice of Wave Hall
Turner's.
Kramer. Tom went along with you. Tied at 1 as the Blast equalizing just before the break. Sam Guernsey, his 3rd of the year at 13-10. Still trying to find out if there's an assist on that, but that was a sensational conversion by Guernsey from the top of the box to tie it up.
The old Wallace scorer there, Tom. Ball off the wall. Nice finish by Sam.
Guernsey entering this league the past 2 seasons with the Cedar Rapids Rampage and now finding his way to Baltimore. Here's a nice run by LSO. Centering on the play. Ferdinand has it. Maxwell, watch a shot that's blocked in front of the goal. It was Jeremy Rayleigh who got there. I don't know if that was going in or not.
That
but
was definitely going in.
Take
the
a look one more
corner.
time
Watch this
here.
Save right there. Rayleigh bailing Vanzella out there with a great save off the line.
Absolutely, that was going inside the left post. Boy, nice crack by Max in his bid for his 6th goal of the year. And it comes Ruggles with a turning shot. Good kick save made by Venzella. LSO. Nice job there to keep it alive. Now Ferdinand turning. Ferdinand coming in, centering shot, and a goal! And the IMAX tandem hooks up for that one. Ian Bennett with his 17th of the year. Off the assist from Ferdinand. Wave leads it 2-1.
How tight was that one right there? Not an inch of space, but the Wave used that half inch they had. And Ian Bennett, 26, finishes off. Watch this pass by, look at the turn right there by Ferdinand. And look at how tight that is. And he just beats Mike Diesel there in front. Can't cover a guy much closer than Diesel had Bennett, but Ian put it away anyway.
If we had a second assist in indoor soccer, that would have gone to LSO. Great work by him to take the ball away from 3 guys and then get it over to Max, who was eventually able to set up Ian. 17th of the year for Bennett. He is among the league's leading goal scorers. Adrian Perez of Ontario leads with 20. And the assist going to Max Ferdinand, his 13th of the year, as the Blast come back and almost get the equalizer right there. Max with his 13th assist. League leader in that category is the player coach of the Tacoma Stars, Nick Pereira, who has 22. Pereira is also the league's leading scorer with 37 total points, followed by Kansas City's Leo Gibson with 33.
And what a nice turn that was by Ferdinand prior to setting up Bennett. But as you said, Tom, that defensive attack led by LSO, it's been one area the Wave has been very good at this year. It's been their defensive pressure in the opponent's defensive zone.
Foul was called that time on Johnny Orlando. Orlando, a DC native in his 2nd indoor season. Actually came up through the DC United Academy and was an All-American player at University of District Columbia.
And right after the Wave goal off the kickoff, John Orlando with a nice spin of his own and put one off the far post. Baltimore almost had the equalizer.
Renault with 1.2 seconds left. That is blocked by Oliveira, and that will do it for the first period. Very exciting first period. Milwaukee takes the lead after that tying goal by Sam Guernsey. Stay with us, fans. Coming for the second period, this is MASL TV.
We had a vision of creating a sports medicine program from the grassroots level, from peewees to the pros. At Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital, we are taking care of athletes and getting them back on the field. Over 80% of the patients that come to see us for sports-related injuries do not need surgery. That really surprises people. We can relate to our patients because many of us have been there. Athletes like to say they give 110%. Well, guess what? So do we.
What did I get from my father? His spirit. I got his warmth, his understanding. What did I learn? His passion for helping others was for me everything I was meant to be.
While every agent's story is different, the promise is still the same. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The Ambassador, Milwaukee's landmark Art Deco hotel, is the official hotel of your Milwaukee Wave. Beautifully renovated and seamlessly appointed with every modern comfort. The Ambassador offers a bridge between the city's legendary past and its cosmopolitan present. A stay at the Ambassador is a stay at a warm, gracious home away from home, served by true ambassadors of hospitality. The Ambassador Hotel, the official hotel of your Milwaukee Wave.
My life's special moments? They've always had one thing in common. Eyewear from Wisconsin Vision. For over 40 years, Wisconsin Vision has been keeping my world in focus. When it comes to my eyes, there's no one I trust more. Now, it's time for the next generation to learn the Wisconsin Vision tradition.
Call to schedule a $49 eye exam and ask about $100 off a complete pair, frame and lenses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Check it out. Hey, we could go down this waterfall, honey. What do you think? So beautiful.
It's refreshing.
At northwesternmutual.com.
Sam Guernsey for Baltimore at 13-10, his third of the year. Art, some of your perspectives on the first quarter.
It was a fast-paced first quarter. A lot of possession by both teams. Referees doing a really nice job just letting the teams play. Thought there was some good soccer from both sides. But no real surprise. You get these two teams, and it's a possession game, possession by possession. And really finishing becomes a big part of it. You saw the nice finish that just near the end by Ian Bennett on the assist from Max Ferdinand.
Kyle Trimble blows the whistle to start the second period. He's working the game along with Mark Kodlesic. And the Wave with the possession right now, going right to left as we look at the action on the black turf of the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. Wave at 9-2 coming in. 5-1 on the road, 4-1 at home. Baltimore at 7-3. 5-0 at home, but just 2-3 on the road so far this year. As we mentioned, the Blast has never lost at the CQ Arena where they moved into prior to last season. 17 straight, including the postseason. Wave will pay a visit there later this month as that one knocked into the stands. Milwaukee will get a kick in. But it's hard to think, Art, that the Blast is going to lose more than 1 or 2 games during the regular season out in Towson this year.
No, until someone beats them. I think they're going to lose it all in that arena.
Isaac Pereira tanking down. Foul was called. Check it out one more time. That was Ibrahim Keita getting called for the foul that time. Remember, in the MASL, you get 3 personal fouls in each half on your fourth. Then you're issued a blue card. So then your team has to play a man down.
Excuse me, Tom. When I looked at the roster, the Blast roster early in the season, I saw that Ibrahim, I didn't have my glasses on, and I'm like, is Conte playing again? Is that Ibrahim Conte? And then I saw it was Keita.
Yeah, Ibrahim Conte, he was a big man, a man among men back in the days he used to play. Maybe that goes with the name Ibrahim. If you're named Ibrahim, probably a strapping young lad. Here's Robert Renaud. Into the post for Andre Hain. Little touch for Robert going by. Robert trying to come back off a leg injury that knocked him out of last week's game against Mississauga. He actually got hurt early in the Waves' previous game to that in Orlando. Renaud going to call for a foul as Benzela a bit banged up there. And you can tell Daniel not too happy with the contact there as he went down to pick it up. And I don't know, I didn't see too much there, but goalkeepers usually do not like guys poking at them when they're trying to pick up the ball. So Benzela will put it down to get things going here for the Blast. Baltimore and Milwaukee, 2 of the iconic franchises in arena soccer. Blast and the Wave, their history dating back to the 80s. They haven't always played in the same league, although since '92 they've basically been in the same league except for 1 year.
The Blast was in the old MISL 1. The Wave started out in the American Indoor Soccer Association.
Yeah, it wasn't until 1992 in the NPSL that they became members of the same fraternity. Foul was called there on Chad Vandegrift. Vandegrift, the St. Louis native, played his college soccer at both SMU and SLU, not to be confused with LSU down in Louisiana, SLU, St. Louis University, the Billikens.
Slew. the schedule comes out before the season, Tom, I always take a look, and the first thing I look for is when is the Wave playing the Blast in Milwaukee?
Whoa, and somebody took one right there, and man, down the corner for the Wave. We could hear the thwack of that one as Drew Ruggles took one right in the breadbasket. It looked like blocking a shot. There goes Drew. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Fourth-year veteran out of Georgia Southern University. Ooh, and he had to feel that one.
This is becoming each game we're seeing this.
Well,
Ruggles sure going back into the tunnel, find a place on his own and try to recover.
Well, it's been a battle of attrition for the Wave, and the Blast has definitely had their share of injuries as well. Lucas Roque, one of their key veterans, midfielders, forwards, he has been out with a knee injury for the Blast as well.
You saw Ruggles, Tom. That's one of those where when you injure yourself and someone comes around to see if you're okay and you're just like, just get away from me, leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Got to give him some space.
Absolutely.
After one of those. Grable sends it up on the near board looking for Ricardinho. Good hustle that time by Orlando to get it back for the Blast. Orlando playing with the electric yellow type shoes, almost matches the yellow that the Wave has on their uniforms. Now Vanzella with some pressure from Bennett. Able to play it up though for Jamie Thomas. Thomas, the former member of the St. John's Red Storm, in a tussle with Pereira, who gets pounded down on the boards. Foul is called. Izak appears to be okay. He's not the biggest guy. About 5'7", 140 pounds. That was Adriano Dos Santos laying the wood that time.
You could see the difference in the size between Dos Santos and Pereira right there. Dos Santos, 6'2" or so.
And he's
Pereira,
pretty solidly built.
5'8"?
Yeah, 5'8" and maybe 150. That might be with some heavy shoes on. And they're going to get NDI, I believe, for the foul there.
There you see Big Mo NDI, and a lot of people have wondered how to pronounce his name, and it's NDI. How do we know? We went down on the field before the game and we asked Big Mo. We said, Big Mo, how do you pronounce your name? He said, like the 3 letters, NDI.
Went right to the source.
Absolutely, because we got about 3 or 4 different versions from other people. I said, let's go talk to Mo and ask him, how do you pronounce your name?
Lemos controlling Josh, one of the best ball handlers in the league. His strength not only as a shot stopper, but also as far as his distribution goes. And, you know, for a lot of people watching indoor soccer for the first time, Art, one of the things that may seem a bit unusual compared to outdoor soccer is indoor soccer, a lot of times the offense starts with the goalkeeper. It really has to run through the goalkeeper. You need to have a guy who can not only make saves defensively, but can handle the ball and expedite the offensive attack.
And no question, I think the area of the field as well is, in outdoor you do go back through the keeper, but in indoor the keeper comes so far forward. As you see Lemos right now, all the way out to the yellow line, his own defensive yellow line. See Lemos right there in the pink jersey.
So it might be a bit unnerving the first time you see it with the net being open. And Baltimore almost took advantage there.
On cue right there.
No doubt you have to be a little more precise with your ball handling. But again, a good offensive goalkeeper is going to be actively involved in the offense. And in fact, they can actually come past the midfield stripe with the possession beginning in the 4th period. Used to be able to do it all the time, but they changed that rule this year as foul was called that time on Andre Hain in the Wave.
Yeah, last year you could. The goalkeeper could come over the half line at any time. Now it's just the 4th quarter. And you got to wonder if they changed that rule in part because of the success of Josh Lemos. 3 goals and 8 assists last year for the Wave.
He really was an offensive force. Josh would have finished in the top 10 in scoring in just about any other team. And as an adjustment to that rule, they then changed the rule that goalkeepers can throw the ball 3 lines. And you talk about Van Zela playing in that little bandbox at CQ Arena, where the field is maybe 160 feet. He can zing it downfield all the way from end to end easily. Tripping going to be called as Nascimento tried to work his way through. Marco Nascimento, spelling his name just like the goalkeeper for the St. Louis Ambush, Paulo Nascimento, although no relation. So a good chance here for the Blast. They've had a few restart opportunities, but really not a lot of whistles in this game thus far. And it comes, and Donatelli will blast one up and over. If that was one of the kickers tomorrow in the Super Bowl, that would have been a great attempt. But not today.
Donatelli doing his best Greg Zuerlein impersonation. How about those 2 clutch kicks 2 weeks ago for the Rams?
Pretty impressive.
So many people talking about the pass interference that wasn't called, but let's not forget the 2 big kicks by Greg Zuerlein.
Yeah, especially 57-yarder to win the game. Good defense there by Grable, and he was knocked down. And that's going to be Silafu drawing the foul. I don't know if that's the first time we've seen him out on the field, number 9 for the Blast. Yeah, Blast having to go with a lot of young guys here today with a number of people on that injured list. No Vinny Dantas, no Andrew Hoxie. Always look forward to seeing the stash, Andrew Hoxie, so kind of disappointing that we're not seeing him in the lineup. And as a fan, I'll objectively say, Art, I look forward to seeing Dantas, but not particularly when he's playing us. Because he is a phenomenal player. A foot shot by Pereira off the mark, and that'll bring us to our next timeout. So, still looking for our first goal here in the second period. As you see, Max Ferdinand roll one in, get stopped there. It's Wave 2 Blast 1 on MASL TV.
Oh, hey, sorry I didn't see you there. Just getting ready for the 2019 Milwaukee Milkmen season. Do you not recognize me yet? Van the Milkman McNeil. And speaking of Milkmen, special delivery! The 2019 Milwaukee Milkmen opening season schedule is here. Trust me, it is pro baseball that is utterly different. Family fun for everyone, from different theme nights, delicious food, tasty beverages, and more. Check out the schedule. Get your tickets now at MilwaukeeMilkmen.com.
What did I get from my father? His spirit. I got his warmth, his understanding. What did I learn? His passion for helping others was for me everything I was meant to be.
While every agent's story is different, the promise is still the same. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The Bronze Fonz overlooking the Milwaukee River downtown. There's some of the crowd here today at Milwaukee Panther Arena.
Gentleman right there, Greg White, big Alabama football fan, by the way.
Well, it's been great being an Alabama fan most of the time this century, or at least since Nick Saban got there. 6:46 left to go here in the first half. Wave leading the Blast 2-1. Still looking for our first goal of the second period, if there is one to come. Chad Vandegrift battling John Orlando for the Blast. And that one headed up into the stands. Will be a free kick for the Wave. Fans, the Wave and Blast would like to thank Mitre USA for providing today's match balls. Mitre, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Mitre is also a proud partner of the Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2.
Speaking of which, good to see Drew Ruggles back on the field for the Wave.
He took one of those Mitre balls right in the midsection on an attempted pass his last shift. So great to see the veteran out there. Dreadlock Drew, as they call him here in Milwaukee. Third year with the Wave, fourth indoor season. He initially started his arena soccer career with the Blast before coming to Milwaukee after an outstanding collegiate career at Georgia Southern. Drew hailing from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And now putting some pressure on Dos Santos as he moves it across for Vanzela. In Baltimore, being very patient as we're accustomed to seeing him. It's hard to say, Art, the way they play sometimes, whether they could be up 5 goals or down by 5 goals, and they look almost exactly the same. Here, only down by a goal. Max Ferdinand on the run. Max trying to beat a couple of guys. Max coming in, centering across, knocked away. Follow Ferdinand, and a nice save there by Vanzela. Boy, great run by Max down that far line.
And a great save by Vanzela. As you said, he was screened on that shot, but kicked out the right leg to rob Ferdinand.
Max, who can shoot equally well with either foot, took the initial cross with the right foot and then reloaded with the left. And that was an excellent save by Vanzela. Not a high volume shot game here so far, but certainly a lot of intriguing strategy. And again, with that rule change this year, keepers cannot go across the midway line until the 4th period.
You mentioned Fayetteville, North Carolina, where Drew Ruggles is from, Tom. After this past week of weather here in Milwaukee, I'm sure there's some of us thinking about North Carolina.
Boy, at the very least, not to mention even further south. A lot of these guys are probably thinking, I might not mind playing for the Florida Tropics or Orlando Seawolves this time of year.
Take a pay cut to go play down in Orlando?
Oh, man. There would be some fringe benefits for sure. Speaking of Orlando, they are in St. Louis tonight. Take on the Ambush. How about the Ambush at 7-7 after the 8-3 win over the Florida Tropics last night? And speaking of the Tropics, they had a quick turnaround. Today, they are in Independence, Missouri, battling the Kansas City Comets. Comets with a 4-3 lead now, midway through the second quarter.
After Orlando had, or sorry, is it Florida's playing in Kansas City? After Florida had jumped out to a 2-0 lead in that game.
Comets come roaring back. Comets have been hot. They've won their last 4, and it looks like Leo Gibson and company are starting to round into form there a bit. Foul called there as that's going to be Daniel Chamale, the Toronto, Ontario native, getting called for the foul. Again, you're watching the Wave and Blast on MASL.TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV, and get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you're following MASL Soccer on Facebook, Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. And this is a league, by the way, where the players will tweet with the fans. We're talking about Frank Tayu getting on the Twitter occasionally, not to mention a few other guys. LSO trying to get past midfield. Donatelli. Good job by Santos, knocked that one down off the end board, but the Blast keep the possession.
Do you follow Frank on Twitter, Tom?
I don't, but sounds like he's occasionally got some pretty good tweets on there.
The King, as he refers to himself as. King has come back after a little bit of a slow start for him, I would say, and his numbers have gone way up for Monterey.
The league's leading goal scorer each of the last couple of years. He's been 70 plus 2 straight years, although had the benefit of playing in Sonora on a smaller type field, but as you've stated many times, Art, he has proven his ability to score on the road as well. How about Isaac Pereira, or LSO, going down on the turf to head that one back to his keeper so Lemos could pick it up with his hands.
And LSO wearing the old school black shoes today.
Yeah, surprised he doesn't have any tassels on those. Lemos trying to come down for Ian Bennett. It skips on top of the dasher board and stays in. However, since it did hit the board before going out of play, Blast will kick it in from that spot. Final 90 seconds of the first half. Bennett able to break up that pass from Vanzella, but Blast able to reload. Now pressure from Pereira. Thomas with it. He'll send it in. Vandergrift there for the Wave. Pressure from Orlando. Lemos with it. And Josh just quickly has to unload there as he was getting some serious pressure. Thomas will play it back for De Oliveira and go off for a change.
No skins here in the second quarter, Tom. Been a tight defensive quarter of soccer.
Well, we weren't expecting a wide open game per se, the way these two teams played. Some opportunities, but not an abundance of them for either team. And Lemos clears that one, and this time it will be a restart top of the arc.
Let's see if Danny Kelly elects to take a timeout here. 35.6 left in the half. Big restart opportunity for the Blast.
So the Blast getting the high-powered scores that are available on the field here. And indeed, they will call timeout before putting it back in play. Other games today, I mentioned Kansas City and Florida also battling right now in Independence. And let's see if we've got an update there. Still 4-3. St. Louis hosting Orlando tonight in St. Louis at the Family Arena in St. Charles. To the suddenly red hot RGV Barracudas, who have won 5 straight, including a victory over Monterey. As we look at the standings here, Art, Baltimore topping the Eastern Division at 7-3, then Utica 9-4, Harrisburg 3-7, Mississauga 2-9. In the South Central Division, also in the Eastern Conference, Wave at 9-2, Kansas City 6-5, St. Louis 7-7, Orlando 3-5, Florida 4-8. In the Southwest Division, Monterey tops at 6-2, then RGV 6-3, Dallas 5-6, El Paso 3-7. In the Pacific Division, San Diego 10-1, followed by Ontario 7-7, Tacoma 7-6, and the Turlock Express with an overtime win last night at home against Ontario. 8-7, they won it after Ontario scored 5 goals in the final 5 minutes of regulation to tie it up.
Tom, I got to say, Brad Beach, he needs to work on his floss, by the way. Can you floss?
I cannot, so I cannot be critical of Brad's form. In it comes, good job by Vandergrift to come out, step up and make the block to the near side as Mike Diesel was trying to knock one in off the restart pass.
Danny Kelly drew up the same play the Wave tried earlier in the game, and you said Vandergrift with a nice read there to snuff that one out.
Vandergrift staying with this. Long ball sent down. Lemos has it. Less than 4 to go, and Josh will just hang on to it, and that should do it for the first half. No scoring in the second quarter, which still bodes well for the Wave since they have the lead at 2-1. Another fine effort by Josh Lemos as well as his counterpart William Vanzella in the first half. And we're going to stand by for the upcoming interview with Van McNeil and Wave coach Giuliano Oliviero. Let's send it down to Van McNeil.
Time for the Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coach's Corner. A pretty intense first half, but that's always the case when Baltimore comes into town.
Yeah, just a fantastic team. They're three-time champions for a reason, you know, and it's been a defensive battle so far, and it's really going to come down to, I think, which team makes less mistakes in the second half.
Time of possession seems to be a big deal right now with Baltimore having the greater of ball possession. What's the message here coming out for the second half?
You know what, we're just going to go through the whole game plan and recognize a lot of new faces that we haven't seen. They brought a very athletic team, a very fast team, and we'll adjust accordingly.
But it's, again, not a half-hour game, not a 45-minute game. It's a full 60 minutes.
You know better than anyone.
All right, head coach Giuliano Oliviero, the Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coach's Corner. We've got more Wave Soccer. We are live from UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. You're watching NBC Sports Chicago.
Shot and goal!
That was arena soccer perfection.
With an absolute golazo! Goal! As good a goal as you can see. That was a heat-seeking missile.
The Ambassador, Milwaukee's landmark Art Deco hotel, is the official hotel of your Milwaukee Wave. Beautifully renovated and seamlessly appointed with every modern comfort. The Ambassador offers a bridge between the city's legendary past and its cosmopolitan present. A stay at the Ambassador is a stay at a warm, gracious home away from home, served by true ambassadors of hospitality. The Ambassador Hotel, the official hotel of your Milwaukee Wave.
What did I get from my father? His spirit. I got his warmth, his understanding. What did I learn? His passion for helping others was for me everything I was meant to be.
While every agent's story is different, the promise is still the same. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Oh, hey, sorry I didn't see you there. Just getting ready for the 2019 Milwaukee MILKMEN season. Do you not recognize me yet? Van the Milkman McNeil. And speaking of milkmen, special delivery! The 2019 Milwaukee Milkmen opening season schedule is here. Trust me, it is pro baseball that is utterly different. Family fun for everyone, from different theme nights, delicious food, tasty beverages, and more. Check out the schedule. Get your tickets now at MilwaukeeMilkmen.com.
Check it out. Hey, we could go down this water pond. What do you think? So beautiful.
You want some? It's good. It's refreshing.
At northwesternmutual.com.
We had a vision of creating a sports medicine program from the grassroots level, from peewees to the pros. At Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital, we are taking care of athletes and getting them back on the field. Over 80% of the patients that come to see us for sports-related injuries do not need surgery. That really surprises people. We can relate to our patients because many of us have been there. Athletes like to say they give 110%. Well, guess what? So do we.
This is a very exciting day in the history of the Sockers franchise and for the Major Arena Soccer League. What we're going to be doing here this morning is introducing Landon Donovan to the public. Seated to my left on the dais, we have the head coach of the San Diego Sockers, Phil Salvaggio. To Phil's left, we have the greatest U.S. soccer player, Landon Donovan, who I am now calling Soccer's rookie, Landon Donovan. And to Landon's left, we have our Director of Player Personnel, Cheeky Luna. I'd also like to recognize in absentia our General Manager, Sean Bowers. Sean could not be here this morning. He felt terribly sick with a stomach virus yesterday, had to be admitted to the hospital. Trust me when I tell you, Sean was invaluable in this entire operation. His vision in leading this from concept to reality and his negotiating, we would not be here if not for Sean. Sean wishes desperately he could be here with you this morning, and he passes along his regards. I'd like to welcome to the stage the president of the Major Arena Soccer League, Lane Davis, to offer a statement on behalf of the league.
On behalf of Major Arena Soccer League, Landon, I'm very excited to have you play in our league. Phil and the entire San Diego Sockers organization on putting together such a fantastic partnership. Landon has been a tremendous ambassador of the sport for so many years. Our league is growing. We have 17 teams spread across 3 countries, the United States, Mexico, and Canada. And we look forward to what Landon and the Sockers organization can do for the entire MASL and bring this sport to another level. Thank you, Landon. Thank you, Sockers organization.
Well, my name is Phil Salvaggio, the head coach of the San Diego Sockers. I want to thank everybody for coming today and being part of this. This is a very special moment, not just for myself as well as the San Diego Sockers. The Sockers franchise has been around since '78. We've been an organization that's won 14 championships, and I think he's the guy to bring us to the 15th championship. And that's where we got to be at the end of this year. And with that being said, I'll say, yeah. Welcome to San Diego.
fitted.
A few, actually, maybe not even a week ago, I received a text from a mutual friend of Craig and mine and that said, would you like the opportunity or perhaps entertain the thought of playing for the Sockers? And my first thought was maybe this was a joke of some sort, but it became clear that it was a very real question and offer. And I sat down with my wife that night and talked to her about it, and she said, you remember, I don't know if it was last year or maybe the year before when you went out and trained with the Sockers that morning in Encinitas. You came home and you wouldn't stop talking about how much fun it was. And I said, yeah, that's true, but going out for training and playing games is a little bit different. And she said, yeah, but you came home with a smile on your face that I hadn't seen in a long time. And I said, okay, well, let's think about it. And cut to today, and here we are. So Craig, with all his humility, won't admit, but he was the one who had the crazy idea, at least initially, to make this happen. Between Sean and Phil and the rest of the ownership group, to have the courage to do something outside the box. And I'm extremely excited about the opportunity to play indoor soccer here in my new hometown. I moved here 3 years ago with my wife and my family. As I said to someone yesterday, the Sockers were the first name and brand in the soccer world that I ever knew, because Major League Soccer wasn't around. I didn't grow up watching European leagues. So we grew up 2 hours north of here in Redlands. The Sockers name I had heard of because of their tradition and their history and their legacy. So to have the opportunity to live here, to have been part of this community, soccer community, very intimately for the last year and a half via Soccer City, and to meet so many of you, to have come and watched the Sockers play, I'm really excited for the chance to get out and play. I want to make something really clear to especially my teammates here and to Phil as the coach, not the owner. I'm here to win, and this is the best team in the league. They don't need a lot, but I hope that I can provide some leadership. There are certainly a lot of things I have to learn about the game and how it works from an indoor standpoint, but I think there's a lot of crossover. Soccer is soccer, and there's a lot of crossover that can certainly, I hope, help in the locker room and then on the field as well. So I'm excited about it, and I want to be here in May with all of you celebrating number 15.
Milwaukee would come back with further pressure. Max Ferdinand denied on that defensive play by Jeremy Raley, but then Ferdinand able to set up Ian Bennett for what now is the go-ahead goal. And again, all of this happening in the first quarter. Nobody was able to score in the second period. You see Ian doing the dance as he's apt to do when he scores. And then after that, Art Kramer was both goalkeepers and defenses doing their thing.
We talked about it. William Vanzella in the nets for Baltimore. Josh Lemos for Milwaukee. Both have been outstanding here in the first half.
Team's just coming back on the field, so we should be ready to go shortly. Halftime in Kansas City, I should say Independence, Missouri, home of the Kansas City Comets, and Kansas City and the Florida Tropics tied up at 4 apiece. That's the only other game going on right now. Later on tonight, St. Louis will be hosting Orlando at the Family Arena in St. Charles, Missouri. And the El Paso Coyotes will be entertaining the Rio Grande Valley Barracudas at the El Paso County Coliseum. And then as we look ahead to action next week, the one everybody is going to be focused on coming up on Friday, the Baltimore Blast hosting Utica City FC, the top 2 teams in the East Division. Utica has already beaten Baltimore twice in Utica, although the Blast do have a win against Utica City in Baltimore. And I would think, Arts, regardless of the outcome of this game, it's going to be imperative for Baltimore to try to get a victory against Utica FC. Otherwise, they're in danger of losing the season series, and that could be the tiebreaker if the teams are tied at the end of the regular season.
The big question is, can UCFC go into Baltimore and be the first team to knock off the Blast in their home arena? By the way, have you seen the UCFC blue turf?
Yeah, looks pretty sharp.
That's outstanding.
Both they and Kansas City have gone with the blue turf. I think it looks just tremendous on the field. Although I think it might be throwing our buddy Jim Schwab, the analyst for the Comets, off a bit with that blue turf, but he's starting to adapt to it.
How so?
No, just kidding. Jimmy's always he's always on top of the game. But I did have to chuckle once though when Nick Vassos asked him for a comment, and he said, "You know, Nick, actually I didn't see what happened. I was watching the Chiefs game when the Chiefs were in the middle of a playoff game. That was one of the classics of all time." But nobody can say he wasn't honest about it.
I was going to say, I don't think it's the blue turf that's throwing Schwabe off. It's the Greek, Nick Vassos.
Josh Lemos will clear it downfield. And eventually Dos Santos back for his goalkeeper, Vanzella. Baltimore in the white uniforms. They go right to left here in the third period. It's been a tight one in Milwaukee. Now Jamie Thomas thought about taking the shot. He'll play it back. Nascimento crosses over, got it on the left foot, drives it wide. Chino, Pereira, Santos tried to play it in space for Pereira, but Dos Santos going to get there to break it up. We'll see if the pace picks up here a bit in the second half. Not a high volume offensive period in the first half by any means. Thomas off the end board. You know, one thing that you would probably say about the Blast, with several of their key players, offensive players out of the lineup, being on the road, you would expect them to be more patient than normal probably as far as their offensive attack goes.
Well, you heard Giuliano Oliviero allude to it just after halftime. He said the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is probably going to win this game. And I would add to that, it's really the team that finishes their chances is probably going to win this game as well. So mistakes certainly, but you got to finish in this league. And we saw that clinical finish by Bennett is really the difference so far in this game.
Set up on a great pass by Max Ferdinand, as they refer to those two as the IMAX tandem here in Milwaukee. And then if you throw in Robert Renault, oftentimes playing on the same line with those guys, it's the RIMAX trio.
Well, if you look at a game like this too, Tom, and I'll hold my thought here as the wave attacks.
Renault with a touch up for Ruggles, but Good defense that time by Big Mohamed Ndiaye.
I think the Blast got away with an illegal procedure there. I think that ball was in their own zone when it was cleared out of bounds.
Kane with a back heel. Ruggles tees one up and the save made by Venzela. Almost got behind him. Great reaction there by the Baltimore keeper.
Ball came off the back wall, hit Venzela in the backside, and then just barely missed getting over the line. Watch this again. Right there, William with his left hand makes the save.
Wave coming back again. Kane trying to see if he can set up LSO at the top of the box, and Venzela covers up. Venzela, one of the best in arena soccer. Two of the best keepers in the league doing battle today, including the Waves' Josh Lemos. Bennett trying to control. Nice job by Ian to control away from a couple of defenders that time, as both Keita and Jamie Thomas were trying to take it away from him. Orlando, I should say, for the Blast.
I was going to ask you, have you ever been to bingo, Tom, at Potawatomi?
Yeah.
So what they have is they have a power ball every night, and if you go out on the power ball, there's a kind of a fund that builds up, so you get a lot more money. The Waves Powerball today has got to be I-26. It's two big teams meet. It's got to be the stars that are going to win you these games. Tony Donatelli for Baltimore, Ian Bennett for Milwaukee.
Last time these teams played here in Milwaukee, about a year ago, it was Bennett who scored two sensational goals late in the contest to tie it up at 4 apiece, but then the Blast was able to get a goal back late in the game. Set up at the near post for Ricardinho, but somehow could not redirect that in.
Great ball that time by Max Ferdinand. Difficult finish that time for Ricky.
But the Waves still with it. Yeah, great look there by Ferdinand. And I'm sure Ricardinho had to be a bit surprised it didn't get in.
Once again, for a right-footed player like Ricardinho is, it's easier to finish from the other side of the goal. That's a difficult finish with the right foot. It's a little bit easier with the left foot from that side.
So, Milwaukee will control the possession again. They had most of the possession early in this contest. Baltimore started to get the bulk of it the latter portion of the first half. Deflection and Venzela able to secure it, and now Blast going to take time. So Danny Kelly will take a time here to talk things over on the Baltimore bench. Julian Oliviero will do likewise for the Milwaukee Wave. So this will be our media timeout. 2-1 Milwaukee on MASL.TV.
Check it out. Hey, we could go down this water pond. What do you think? So beautiful.
You want some? It's good. It's refreshing.
At northwesternmutual.com.
Well, that's got to be video of some warmer days here in Milwaukee. I'll tell you, nope, nobody was outside ice skating before yesterday this week, that's for sure. There's Josh Lemos, goalkeeper for the Wave. And he has done everything he can so far to preserve this 1-goal lead for Milwaukee. 2-1, Milwaukee leads it here as we come to the 9:42 mark of the third period. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer, bringing you this one here. The MASL and MITRE share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. MITRE's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. MITRE's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer. So, Art, anything noteworthy since the second half began here?
Yeah, actually I misspoke before, Tom. I said Powerball from Potawatomi. My friend Eleanor texted me. It's actually the hot ball.
The hot ball, okay.
And the hot ball's at $1,750, by the way, in the weekday matinee. So, courtesy of my friend Eleanor.
Well, for a what's the minimum cost to play that?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Anyway, with minimal investment, one in $1,750 wouldn't be bad. Chamale will play it for Lemos. Again, the Wave in the black uniforms, they go left to right here at Panther Arena, where they have a record of 4-1 so far this year, losing only to the Kansas City Comets in one of their 2 meetings here so far. Wave all time at this facility as Ferdinand sets it up. Chamale back for Ferdinand. Max trying to maneuver top of the box. Maybe a bit of overpassing there. I thought Chamale had a decent attempt, but anyway, give credit for Baltimore for breaking it up. Anyway, the Wave all time regular season in this facility since moving over from the now imploded or soon to be taken down Bradley Center, 144-43. So Wave has had pretty good success here on the home turf.
You talked about it. You said maybe a little overpassing. It absolutely was overpassing that last time. Was that Ferdinand and Chamale, you said?
Yeah, and Chamale, even though he's a defender, he has scored a few goals this year. Total on the year of 5 in 9 games for Daniel. 5 goals, 3 assists, 9 points. So it's not like he's unfamiliar with sticking it in the goal once in a while. I think Max was just as surprised that he got the ball back and just didn't really have enough time to do anything with it. LSO trying to set up his defender, but not biting that time. Renault tried to play it across Ian. Taken away as Joe Oliveira comes up. Gets the return pass from Diesel. Ruggles tracks him down to the near corner. Now Dos Santos trying to work his way into the zone. Dos Santos has been an excellent player for Baltimore during his career. Orlando trying to set Dos Santos at the post, but could not redirect it into the goal. And that was a good job that time by Salifu to muscle his way along the end board and create a shot. And Lemos able to stand tall on the goal.
Both keepers have been outstanding here in this one. You know, Tom, earlier in the game, I sang the praises of Danny Kelly. And if you think about Giuliano Oliviero on the Wave bench, and it's been really neat to watch the evolution of Giuliano as a head coach as well. And I have to say, Tom, with the injuries the Wave has experienced this season, this may be Giuliano's best coaching job to date. It's been outstanding what he's been able to do with all the injuries.
Giuliano in his 5th season behind the bench for Milwaukee after several years as an assistant coach to the legendary Keith Tozer, who was on the bench for 22 years for the Milwaukee Wave. Keith, the all-time winningest coach in arena soccer history. But Giuliano has definitely kept the trend going for Milwaukee. 3 years at 13-7 with at least one playoff victory each year, and then 17-5 last year, going to the Eastern Conference semifinals against Baltimore, in which the Blast captured the one-game series, if you will, in Baltimore. They're going to get Josh Lemos for delay a game there. A 4-second count. It used to be 5, and they changed it to 4 this year.
Not a call you see made very often in this league.
I think that's only the second time we've seen it here this year. So, restart top of the arc. Nascimento will lay it off, and the shot, save, rebound. Up into the stands. Josh Lemos again coming up big.
And not having Dantes, Hoxie, that's really affects Baltimore's restart effectiveness as well. They've been one of the best teams over the years, but don't like the approach there with Nascimento standing on the ball. You know as a Wave defender that he's not going to shoot the ball. It's going to be a pass and a shot. And the Wave's been able to react defensively and really snuff out the chances for the Blast here today.
Now Milwaukee trying to keep the upfield pressure on. Nice little move that time by Keita to break it out of the zone for Baltimore. There's NDI. Keita tried to get it back from him, but deflected away. Good hustle back by the Wave defensively. One thing about either of these teams is that they will hustle back defensively just about all the time, which is one of the reasons why they're two of the better teams in the league. Chino launches the shot in. Good save by Vanzela. Chino stays with it. But a good play by Keita to get it back. And here comes the Blast. Big Mo leading the fast break, a 3-on-2. Good sliding effort there by Grable to break up the pass. Renault able to take it away. And he draws the foul.
Fortunate for the Wave there to get that foul call. Lemos getting into it right now.
Yeah, Lemos and Dos Santos. Meanwhile, Max Ferdinand is having a few words.
There's Big Mo NDI in the face of Josh Lemos. Josh may want to rethink that battle.
Josh, a pretty good sized guy himself, but you're right. Big Mo has got, he'll have the physical advantage of just about anybody one-on-one in this league. All right, cooler heads prevailing. Again, good job by the officials. Kyle Trimble, Mark Kudlesic to keep things from escalating. Here's Ruggles now. 4-3 for the Wave. Ruggles with a shot and the kick saved by Vanzela. Santos sent it back in. Vanzela scrambles to cover that one up. The Oliveira starts it up. Gets it back, took a shot, save. That was Mike Diesel with the shot there. Boy, that was a good crack by Diesel. And good stop there by Lemos. Well, both keepers have been dialed in today.
It's been a goalkeeper showcase this afternoon at the Cellular Arena. Yeah, sorry, UWM Panther Arena.
Good stick in by Chino that time to get it away. Pereira is dispossessed though. Now Oliveira back heels at Nascimento, and they'll work it around. Donatelli on the far side. And the shot taken that time by Salifu, but Lemos had a good look at that one. Lemos, in his career now, in 43 games played, a record of 33-7 for the Wave.
Not only have both goalkeepers been good with their shot stopping today, they've both been excellent with their distribution as well. You see at times either team trying to pressure the goalkeeper, but not much success when they've done so.
No, these are definitely two of the best. As we talked about, the Lemos, probably the Oh, and that one taken away, shot in the goal. Wave looking for a foul. They're not going to get the call, and the Blast has tied it up. Take a look one more time on the Wisconsin Vision instant replay. Well,
tough to tell there. Definitely got the ball, but did he get the man?
Jonathan Santos, the victim, if you will, on that play. Time of the goal at 12:48.
Salifu.
And Salifu has tied it up.
Just talked about how neither team had much effectiveness pressuring, but right there, the Blast with a defensive attack goal of their own.
Sila Salifu scoring the goal for the Blast. So we are back to even two-piece. That's our first goal in this contest since the first period. Prior to that, Ian Bennett's goal at 14:07 of the first, which put the Wave up 2-1, had been the last goal scored in this contest. Salifu with first goal of his MASL career, and comes in his second appearance. Unassisted at 12:48 of the third period.
The Blast picking up their pressure here. Got some guys that are pretty quick up top. It's important for the Wave to play 1 and 2 touch and play quickly in the back.
Josh Lemos still trying to get a bit of a breather here, see if he can regroup.
Took a shot from Big Mo.
Yeah, you're going to feel it if that guy gets into you. Hopefully Josh is okay. Tell you, let's look at it again. Josh appears to be okay. He has really taken his share of knocks this year. He's a guy who flies around the field anyway. He's going to get his share of trips to the floor, no doubt, but he's had a couple extra this year. Coming down the middle, Ruggles, shot a goal! Off the feed from Ferdinand. Beautiful conversion there. Ruggles with the right foot. Shows he can go both ways with his shots. Scored one with the left, one with the right today, and the Way back on top, 3-2, and a good answer from Milwaukee.
Nice layoff that time by number 24, Max Ferdinand. Put it on a platter there for Ruggles. Watch the pace of that pass, just perfectly setting up Ruggles, and he beats Vanzella. Good look from behind Vanzella, just not quick enough to get across with that left hand. And Baltimore a little bit slow to get back in transition. 3 players on the wrong side of the ball that time.
So Drew Ruggles gets his 9th of the season, also has 4 assists for 13 points. And Ferdinand picks up his 2nd assist of the game, his 14th of the season. Max now up to 19 points on the year. He is number 3 on the Wave scoring list. Again, Nick Pereira, the player coach of the Tacoma Stars, the league's leading scorer right now with 37 points. Kansas City's Leo Gibson behind him with 33. Adrian Perez is the leading goal scorer in the league, the forward for the Ontario Fury, with a total of 20 this year. Alex Bradley got called for the foul there. Alex, second-year MASL player, made his rookie debut with the old Cedar Rapids Rampage before coming here. British native, played his college soccer at Loras University in Dubuque, Iowa. Shot blocked on the restart. Blast will have to reload. Both teams have really defended the restarts well today. Not that there's been a ton of them for either team. Dos Santos plays it across. Nice sliding block, Ricardinho, to stop the shot by Diesel. 1 minute left to go here in the third period. It's been a tense one all the way. 3-2 Wave leads it. Looked like Renault might have got away with a handball there, and the pass deflected. And Milwaukee will start it back. Ricardinho pushed up against the wall by Nascimento. Ricardinho looking for a foul there, not getting the call. Andre Hain trying to split the middle. Foul is called. As you see, Oliveira got called for the foul.
Tremendous defensive shift that time by Ricardinho, that man Andre Hain, and Robert Renault, all with big blocks in that last shift for the Wave.
Chino bangs one out of the corner. And as the blast comes out, with the foul is called, as Pereira going to get called for dumping Johnny Orlando.
Been a physical game so far, Tom, but no blue cards have been pulled yet.
No, well done by the officials so far to keep things under control. Hain trying to knock down that pass from Nascimento. He'll go to the goalkeeper, Vanzela, just before Pereira got there. Here's Dos Santos back for the blast. Nascimento went down. Looked like he might have tripped on the carpet there. Chino starts upfield. He is hammered down, and we will have our first blue card of the day. So Adriano Dos Santos will take the first penalty of the contest at 14:56 of the third period. Let's look at it one more time.
You see Dos Santos a little bit late, tried to get out of the way. Not sure how much contact there was there, but Chino, if there wasn't, he sold it very well. Dos Santos still pleading his case.
Yeah, it wasn't a heinous boarding penalty for sure. As you said, Art, he tried to pull up. Chino had some momentum. The Wave had perhaps a 3-on-2 coming back.
And you saw Mark Kedlesic, referee right there. He didn't make the original call. It was Kyle Trimble who did, but Kedlesic comes in and gives Dos Santos a yellow. Little too much dissent, Kedlesic felt, on the part of Dos Santos.
So Dos Santos going to have to sit now for an additional 5 minutes after this 2-minute power play, 2-minute penalty expires. And that is a key man for the Blast to lose, especially being undermanned as they are here today. You see Sam Guernsey will go to the box to serve the 2-minute penalty for Dos Santos. So he'll come back on as soon as the penalty time expires, or if the Wave gets a power play goal, penalty time will carry over into the fourth period. All right, stick with us, fans. We are coming to the fourth period. Wave still leading by 1. It's Milwaukee 3, Baltimore 2. This is Wave Soccer on MASL.TV.
My life's special moments, they've always had one thing in common. Eyewear from Wisconsin Vision. For over 40 years, Wisconsin Vision has been keeping my world in focus. When it comes to my eyes, there's no one I trust more. Now, it's time for the next generation to learn the Wisconsin Vision tradition.
Call to schedule a $49 eye exam and ask about $100 off a complete pair, frame and lenses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
The Ambassador, Milwaukee's landmark Art Deco hotel, is the official hotel of your Milwaukee Wave. Beautifully renovated and seamlessly appointed with every modern comfort. The Ambassador offers a bridge between the city's legendary past and its cosmopolitan present. A stay at the Ambassador is a stay at a warm, gracious home away from home, served by true ambassadors of hospitality. The Ambassador Hotel, the official hotel of your Milwaukee Wave.
Oh, hey, sorry I didn't see you there. Just getting ready for the 2019 Milwaukee Milkmen season. Do you not recognize me yet? Van the Milkman McNeil. And speaking of Milkmen, special delivery! The 2019 Milwaukee Milkmen opening season schedule is here. Trust me, it is pro baseball that is utterly different. Family fun for everyone, from different theme nights, delicious food, tasty beverages, and more. Check out the schedule. Get your tickets now at MilwaukeeMilkmen.com.
What did I get from my father? His spirit. I got his warmth, his understanding. What did I learn? His passion for helping others was for me everything I was meant to be.
While every agent's story is different, the promise is still the same. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Get the crowd fired up here for a souvenir ball. So, Milwaukee starts the fourth quarter on a power play, and great opportunity to extend their 3-2 lead.
You see, Van, he's got a little Jerry Lewis in him, doesn't he? Does he remind you all of Jerry Lewis?
And a lot of the times, you know, as the Wave, like a lot of teams, has a game theme for each of their home dates, and Van will usually dress to the theme, and he's just phenomenal. Some of his costumes and get-ups. I like the time he, when we had 50s night here a couple of weeks ago, he painted his face bronze like the Bronze Fonz on the Riverwalk here in Milwaukee.
And Van's been doing this for a lot of years as well.
Oh,
remember the time he got into it with Hector Marinero? That was fantastic. Van likes to stand up on the boards, and Hector came over and just kind of hooked him with his left arm and pulled him off the boards.
That was as Hector was getting a yellow card for a 5-minute dissent in a game between the Wave and the Cleveland Force back at the old Bradley Center. All right, Wave with the man advantage to start for 1:56. First power play of the night for either team. Chino with it. Works it to Ricardinho. Ian along with Max, LSO, Chino, and Ricardinho. The Blast breaking it up. Donatelli trying to clear. Ball deflected away, but Vanzela will get it.
The Wave without their quarterback on the power play, Marcio Leite.
He's good. Foul coming up against the Wave, either Chino or LSO. I think they are going to call it on number 28, Chino Angel Curiel. Wave on the power play this year, 39%. They're 7 of 18. They have given up one shorthanded goal. Baltimore, meanwhile, has killed off 10 of 17 for 59%. They do not have a shorthanded goal so far this year. Coming in today's game, Baltimore was a +19 over their opponents. They had outscored them 68-49. Wave was a +31 at 87-56. Only the San Diego Sockers at +34 had a greater goal differential on the plus side than Milwaukee. And the Sockers, of course, are going to be adding a player of note in a couple of weeks. You might have heard of him, named Landon Donovan. Chino able to hit it back for Lemos. Wave just over a minute on the power play as they bring it up, trying to extend their 3-2 advantage. Ferdinand will look for Ian Bennett, that one high. They quickly get it back for Ricardinho. Again for Max, centering on the play, shot on the goal! LSO with the right footer! And Milwaukee leads it 4-2. Big time conversion there for LSO.
And a big power play goal by the Wave to extend this lead to 2. And once again, it was Max Ferdinand, his 3rd assist of the afternoon, this time to Luan Oliveira. Oliveira right in the middle of the Blast box. Unmarked, Donatelli got there just a little bit late. Nothing Vanzela could do. That's a huge power play goal for the Wave.
Max Ferdinand, the Haitian native, grew up in Reading, Pennsylvania. And as all Blast fan knows, he spent his first 6 seasons in indoor soccer with the Baltimore Blast before coming here to Milwaukee.
I talked to Max after the last game, and he asked me, he said, Coach, you think I need to shoot the ball more? I said, Max, don't change anything you're doing, man. Don't overthink it. I certainly wouldn't mind seeing you shoot a little bit more, but you know what? I don't want to change anything you do.
Spoken like a true coach. Well, Max with 3 assists on the day, 15 on the year, to go along with 5 goals for 20 points. He's the 3rd member of the Wave to reach the 20-point plateau. Renault and Bennett have also done it. LSO with his 8th goal of the year. He also has 4 assists for 12 points. And LSO has shown a knack for scoring goals at very key moments for the Wave this season. Predominantly a left footer, but he can crack it either way. And that was a great right-footed shot by Luan Salas Oliveira. Foul off the ball. They're going to call Chino for the foul, holding up Tony Donatelli, who's having a rather animated discussion with Coach Oliviero here on the near sideline. Just a little Italian conversation going on there between Donatelli and Oliviero.
When you think of the Baltimore Blast and the East Coast, who else would you rather have for a captain of your team than Tony Donatelli?
No doubt about it. Chino is able to get that wall pass through to Pereira. Nicely done there as he goes off for a change. Yeah, and of course, Donatelli's one half of the Vinny and Tony duo, but Vinny Dantas actually hails from Brazil. Vinny is short for Vinicius, which I still think is one of the great names in all of professional sports. Now Josh Lemos, 4th quarter, he can come past midfield with the possession. And of course, Josh not afraid to take the ball forward. Maybe a little bit too much at times.
He always makes me a little nervous, Tom, especially in the 4th quarter when you have a lead. But in fairness to Josh, throughout the last couple of years, we have not seen him give away goals because he's wandered too far out of the goal.
No, he's about the most sure ball handling goalkeeper you're going to see outside his penalty area. Renault got dumped on the play and foul going to be called. So they got Danny Oliveira on the foul. There you see Danny with just his first name on the back. Remember, number 26 is Elton De Oliveira. So you've got Oliveira and De Oliveira on the blast. Renault behind the defense. Nice ball sent in. Couldn't quite get as much of that on that spinning volley as he wanted. Now Van Zela. We might have to see Van Zela push up a little bit here on the attack. That normally is not one of his regular things he likes to do, but he can handle the ball fairly well if he has to. Bennett, nice job at midfield to win that one initially, but the Blast get it back.
We're 10.5 from the finish line here, Tom, but this, no question, is the Wave's best defensive performance of the season.
Lemos with a nice sliding effort to deny Johnny Orlando, and now foul is going to be called. It might be Orlando. Now they call it Jamie Thomas instead, was also down there. Jamie,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, looking a bit miffed on that play. He got him.
Absolutely. I was going to say, give Giuliano Oliviero and Marcelo Fontana a heck of a lot of credit for getting this team prepared for this one. Baltimore, not easy to come and play after a loss. Remember, Baltimore coming off a loss against Harrisburg. You know, Danny Kelly was getting his boys ready for this game, but Giuliano and Marcelo put together an excellent defensive game plan here today.
No question about it. It's been an excellent first 50 minutes for the Wave. We'll see if they can put together another good 10 minutes to finish this thing out.
Been very impressed with the Waves forwards, their commitment to defending today. It's been extremely intense and it's been consistent throughout.
Second game of a 3-game homestand for Milwaukee. They will host the Florida Tropics here this upcoming Saturday, February 9th, 7 o'clock Central Time. Lemos gave that one up in midfield, but came charging back to break up the shot downfield by De Oliveira. Boy, how about that for reaction by Lemos? Grable trying to come in, trying to nudge it across to the far side. He had Pereira there. Couldn't quite get it to him. Bradley battling out at midfield. as the ball is sent into the stands by T. Cipollone, and meanwhile Johnny Orlando down for the blast. Well, what a sequence there as Lemos gave it up, but then was able to come back and break up the attempted shot downfield.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what they decide here, because the blast cleared the ball out of play from inside their defensive third of the field. But Kyle Trimble had blown the whistle prior to the ball going out of bounds. So I think they're going to call a drop ball.
This all happening. Think about one more time. As Grable, 1-on-3, 1-on-4, was trying to get the ball over to Pereira. And that's where you saw Johnny Orlando go down.
Kyle doesn't look much like Mark Litton, does he? Sure where I came up with.
Give him another 20 years and we'll see. He's handsome like Mark Litton is. Mark Litton is one of the assistant coaches for the St. Louis Ambush. Longtime goalkeeper coach here in Milwaukee. Racine native, good buddy of ours. Well, let's see what's going to happen here. Again, 9:14 left to go. Wave with the momentum, having scored the last two. Drew Ruggles put Milwaukee on top at 13-11 of the third with his 9th of the season from Max Ferdinand, who got his second assist of the game at that time. And then Luan Salas Oliveira at 1:14 of this fourth period, his 8th of the year, with another assist from Ferdinand, who picked up his 3rd assist of the day. And I'm sure, again, every time Max has a good game against the Blast, there have got to be fans in Baltimore saying, why did we ever let that guy get away? He was a pretty popular player there in Baltimore. We're certainly glad we got him in Milwaukee. Hayne tried to flick it across, almost made the connection there with Pereira. Boy, that would have been some play there. Isaac keeping the pressure on, but eventually Benzela able to get it.
There may be some fans wondering why they let Max Ferdinand get away, but winning 3 consecutive champions, I'm not sure you can question anything the Baltimore Blast have done.
No, I would have to agree with you there. Bradley took it away, but after he got called for the foul, I tell you, Alex had an unsung effort tonight, being shifted to the back and really had to take the back seat offensively here. He had a hat trick against Mississauga to pace the Wave in their last victory, that 7-5 win over the Metro Stars last Saturday. Donatelli ready to trigger on the restart. Blast it through, it deflects away. Chino clearing, and it just crawled out of bounds. He was trying to will that ball to stay in play, but now it comes back to the top of the arc for the Blast. So the Wave hosting Florida this upcoming Saturday to wrap up the homestand. You can order tickets online at MilwaukeeWave.com or call the Wave office, 414-224-WAVE. Let's see what the Blast does with this restart. Donatelli will play it over, and off the ball, Blast going to get called for a foul. Looked like they sent De Oliveira through the middle, and he got called for setting a pick, which you can't do.
Sure, it has to do with so many players being absent, but this is as disorganized on the offensive restarts as I've seen Baltimore in many years.
Well, again, you take away Jonatas Mello, and a couple of these other guys, they're definitely not going to look the same, that's for sure. All right, Benzela pushing forward now a bit. Again, he doesn't like to do this as much as Josh Lemos, but he's capable of doing so if he has to, and he is right now. I guess Blast figure they got to change up something here a little bit offensively, although there's still plenty of time to go in this contest. Grable with a nice job to fend off Keita that time, and also took an elbow in the chest. Lemos lobbing long. LSO trying to keep control. Nice job there. LSO coming in. LSO still coming. Took a little bump from behind, but they play on. Now Lemos charging out to get it. Well, nicely done as he gets it over to LSO. And unfortunately, Robert Renault, I think, might have turned an ankle there, Art, or hurt his leg again. He went limping off to the side.
He was limping earlier in the game as well. You got to give Robert a lot of credit for gutting this one out. It was a game-time decision. And you mentioned Robert, LSO also hobbled off on this after this last shift as well.
Boy, that could be a costly shift for the Wave for sure. Robert again had missed the previous game with an injury and didn't know if he was going to play today. He gave it a go. And Milwaukee again seems like they're battling some ongoing injury situations here. Oh, Ricardinho with a shot, save. Rebound, rolled through. Nice try by Pereira. But the Blast able to hold them off. Just over 6 minutes left to go. Wave will be in Baltimore Friday, February 22nd to take on the Blast at CQ Arena. That's part of a 2-game road trip for Milwaukee, in which they'll be in Harrisburg the next night. NDI with a shot turned away by Lemos. Pereira coming out, and he was able to draw the foul. Probably Mike Diesel drawing the foul there for Baltimore.
Looking down at the Baltimore bench, Tony Donatelli in an animated conversation with Danny Kelly.
Well, animated for Tony. I don't know about Danny. Standing by stoically as he usually does on the Blast bench.
Well, Danny put his hand up as if to tell Tony enough.
Oh, shot by Chino just wide. That was a bomb from out near the line. The Blast again trying to be patient, but trailing by 2 with just over 5 minutes left to go. And a whistle.
Going to call Bennett for a handball there.
So Van Zela was very demonstrative, trying to tell everybody what to do there. Kind of a quasi 6th attack going here for Baltimore. Nice step in by Chino. Chino now trying to bust upfield with Bennett. Good hustle by Diesel to get it back.
One too many touches that time by Chino. He had Bennett out in front of the play. Took the extra touch.
Diesel's engine had to quickly shift gears that time to break that one up.
If you're the Wave right now, 4:34, the man you want to watch is that man right there on the ball, Tony Donatelli. And make sure you get 2 men to him every time he touches the ball when he gets into the attacking third.
Vandegrift with a nice job there to clear it downfield. Again, the Wave has really been solid defensively, especially on the back line today. You know, Vandegrift, Bradley, Chamali, these guys have been unsung, but they've done a great job back there. Ball cleared into the stands, and the possession will go to Milwaukee.
You're right. It starts with the goalkeeper, Josh Lemos, but everyone's done a good job in front of Josh.
Lemos doing the job today. The Wave still leading by 2. Stick with us, fans. We're coming back on MASL.TV.
Check it out. Hey, we could go down this water pond. What do you think? So beautiful.
You want some? It's good. It's refreshing.
NorthwesternMutual.com.
How do you see yourself at Wisconsin Vision? Whether you're at lunch with friends, the gym, office, or out for a night in the town, Wisconsin Vision carries designer eyewear to fit every lifestyle. With convenient locations throughout Wisconsin, Wisconsin Vision makes it easy to update your look. Plus, they accept most vision insurance plans. Call to schedule a $49 eye exam and ask how to get 30% off your first pair of complete glasses and 50% off your second complete pair. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
As we get ready to resume action back on the field, Wave still leading by 2. 4-2 is our score. Milwaukee leads it. Just on the back block from the Bronze Fonz here in Milwaukee. Coming down the stretch, Tom Wynn and Art Kramer with you here.
Big question now, Tom, is can the Wave close out this outstanding defensive effort they've had?
Van Zela is going to come off, and the extra attacker on for the Blast.
Mr. Donatelli.
So there's Tony Donatelli taking over in the blue shirt. Empty net to the left as we look at it. Dos Santos trying to get down the wing. He does. They set it up in front and blocked in the middle. Oh, Chad Vandergriff with a sensational block in the middle for the Wave. Look at this again as Adriano Dos Santos had a 99%er sitting right there in the middle. Oh, great play there by Donatelli to stop Bennett as Ian was going to streak downfield toward the empty goal. Blast keeping on the pressure here with the extra attacker. Milwaukee has defended it okay so far this year. I guess other than when they've played Kansas City, they've done pretty well. Ian Bennett tied up along the wall. Good play by Nascimento to get it back for the Blast. LSO with some pressure against Orlando. So Orlando back out there, although it looked like he's still limping a bit after he had gone off on his previous shift.
2:30, Giuliano still with both of his timeouts, Tom. He might want to think about taking one when the Wave gets possession or with Lemos gets possession to give his man-down team time to rest.
Yeah, they've had to work hard out there for sure. And there's a break right there as Orlando puts one up into the net. And as you suggested, Art, Coach Oliviero going to take a timeout here and give the fellas a chance to get a breather. Boy, great work by the Waves' sixth attacker defense. Josh Lemos again. Another outstanding effort, and he is fired up, the Ontario native. And what a player he's been for Milwaukee since he came on board 3 years ago. He, Robert Renaud, and Daniel Shamali.
For sure. And with Lemos getting the nod over Van Zela, and then Max Ferdinand would be another star, right? But man, you look at this game here defensively for the Wave. Chad Vandergriff, outstanding. The forward play by the Wave forwards has been unbelievable defensively. I mean, I said it before, this is unquestionably the best defensive effort for the Wave this season. It's not even close.
And they have been among the league's better defensive teams, but I would have to agree with you, Art. They have really come to the forefront here. Actually, if you take out the road trip to Florida where they yielded 16 goals in 2 games, they've been pretty solid otherwise. And of course, again, Lemos was out for 5 straight games prior to last week, so his addition has certainly helped, although his backup, Rafa Diaz, I thought did a nice job in spelling him during that time.
The Wave's always committed defensively to getting 5 behind the ball. We saw last week against Mississauga, times there were lapses in communication and concentration. Today the concentration maybe because it's been the Blast they've been playing against, the concentration has been outstanding for the entire 58 minutes thus far.
Yeah, boys have they've really been focused here today. And again, you got to give Baltimore credit, as undermanned as they are coming into this game. They've done a heck of a job to keep it close. Bennett trying to slalom around. Van Zalen, the goalkeeper, had come back in after the timeout. But he'll come back out now for the extra attacker with Baltimore having the possession. They're going to get Max Ferdinand for a foul. Well, that used up some time, 1:53 to go. But still plenty of time for Baltimore to get a couple of goals and tie this thing up.
With this loss, Baltimore will fall to 2-4 if the score holds true. When's the last time you've seen Baltimore with a losing road record in a season?
Well, certainly not in any season that they went to the postseason, I don't believe. They were 6-5 on the road last year to go along with 11-4 at home. Actually, 11 at home, 7-4 on the road they were last year. Shot just above the frame. Goes Orlando with the crack over there. Nascimento reloads. Blast trying to get a quick one here to get back within one. Donatelli will launch one up above the glass. And Josh Lemos is feeling it. He will definitely be one of the candidates for player of the game, no doubt. Launching to the sky, looking for Chamali. Blast get it, but they are running short on time. NDI trying to control. Kept in play on the far side. Bradley over to head it away for the Wave. Sent up to Bennett. Ian sending down toward the empty net. This one is going to be close, but just a bit wide. Ian, who has the uncanny knack to be able to finish from anywhere on the field when it's unoccupied, but couldn't quite get it to go that time. Used up some time now. They got 19.4 seconds left to go as the foul is called. Foul on Alex Bradley, another guy who has really performed well. Alex, normally a forward, shifted back to a defender spot today, and boy, he has been outstanding back there. On the restart, headed across by Big Mo, off the mark. Nascimento. And NDI is put down. Jonathan Santos. And looks like NDI got cut right on the left ankle there by Santos.
Santos fortunate not to go to the penalty box on that one as he chopped Big Mo down. Well, the Wave has been outstanding on the restart, defensive restarts all game long. One more here for good measure.
Even if the Blast scores, it would take a miracle for them to come back and score again with 7.1 seconds to go. But stranger things have happened before. There's a shot blocked. Oliveira reloads and punched out by Lemos, and that'll do it. Oh, big win for the Milwaukee Wave today as they defeat the three-time defending champion Baltimore Blast by the final score of 4-2. Outstanding effort led by their goalkeeper Josh Lemos today. And big win for Milwaukee. Stick with us, fans. We're coming back with more. This is Wave Soccer on MASL.TV.
Oh, hey, sorry I didn't see you there. Just getting ready for the 2019 Milwaukee Milkmen season. Do you not recognize me yet? Van the Milkman McNeil. And speaking of Milkmen, special delivery, the The 2019 Milwaukee Milkmen opening season schedule is here. Trust me, it is pro baseball that is utterly different. Family fun for everyone, from different theme nights, delicious food, tasty beverages, and more. Check out the schedule. Get your tickets now at MilwaukeeMilkmen.com. Oh, hey, sorry I didn't see you there. Just getting ready for the 2019 Milwaukee Milkmen season. Do you not recognize me yet? Van the Milkman McNeil. And speaking of milkmen, special delivery. The 2019 Milwaukee Milkmen opening season schedule is here. Trust me, it is pro baseball that is utterly different. Family fun for everyone, from different theme nights, delicious food, tasty beverages, and more. Check out the schedule. Get your tickets now at MilwaukeeMilkmen.com.
Live at UW Milwaukee Panther Arena with our player of the game. It's the Professional Construction Incorporated hardest working player of the game. Also, the All-State save of the game. You had some monster saves today. Number 30, Josh Lemus. Let's look at these highlights first. And this is one of the biggest saves of the game right here. Right off the head. Of course, you're way out the box, but when it comes to the Baltimore Blast, it's always a hearty battle.
Of course, they're three-time champion. You got to give them all the respect because they deserve it.
When they come to town, I know this was a game that we earmarked. It definitely hurt last season when they knocked us out of that championship run. We got knocked out in the Eastern Conference Finals. I know we're not done yet, but this win has to feel good against Baltimore.
Every win right now is good. Every game's a playoff game for us. So, of course, beating the three-time champs is a big thing, but winning that cup is what we're here for.
Now, I know you've been on the injury train a little bit. You look great today. How you feeling, Josh?
Great, thank God. I have good physios there. They put me to work, made sure I'm good to go. So, hey, I'm here.
And the head is still good after that save there?
It's still there.
All right, our player of the game. He had some monster saves today. You got to put the hat on, Josh. Number 30, Josh Lemus. Back up to Tom and Art. Let's wrap up this win, this Milwaukee Wave win.
So a great win today for the Wave. Great effort by Josh Lemus, and the Wave coming away with the 4-2 victory. Wave goes to 10-2. Baltimore drops to 7-4. Art, any final thoughts on this one?
No, it's all been said. As a huge win for the Wave. Once again, trying to get that home field advantage. Remember last year in the playoffs, the Wave had to go to Baltimore and play in that arena. We're not successful doing it, so this was a big step in trying to reverse that and get that playoff game, if it comes to that, here in Milwaukee.
Okay, so that will wrap it up here. Again, our thanks to the production crew. And for Art Kramer, Tom Wynn wishing you a good one. Good night from Milwaukee.